LiDAR is what? Okay, so as you see, we call this as a light detection and ranging. Okay, so there is a various kind of thing which we are actually going to focus over here. So here basically we are going to use different kind of data. Okay, so if you see, we have different kind of LiDAR data, so which we are actually used for our purpose, like similar to the radar. LiDAR is almost similar to the radar. Both are active remote sensing technique. Okay, but it's measure the property of the scattering light. Okay, so here basically it is measuring the property of the scattering light and the uses. What is the uses of the LiDAR? So basically it is uses the laser beam, okay, to get the informations. Okay, so use the shorter wavelength of electromagnetic spectrum. So we are getting the shorter wavelength. Okay, so in LiDAR basically we are using the shorter wavelengths. Okay, so now the techniques how it is going to hurt. So it is actually animation, but as I make it in PDF, so it is not working. But anyway, so it is a core technology how LiDAR is actually working. So here we have a laser. So here we have a laser. So usually we have three things. Whenever you have a sensors like this, you have a three things. One is laser beam, and is the GPS system and inertial navigation system. These three things are actually working. Okay, which is working as a receiver and that is, you see the architecture how the transmitter will be there and how the receiver will be there. So what is this? See, if I send the signal, it will hit the object and it will come back. So once it will hit the object and come back, okay, so by the time durations, it is actually measuring the height. Okay, so suppose there is a top of the building and there is a down of the building. So one the signal will come and hit the top of the building, and the signal will come and hit the ground of the building. So there is a time dilation between these two. So LiDAR is actually calculating that to get an exact accurate height over that. Okay, so now the next is, so its applications area. So its applications area is a various area nowadays LiDAR is actually going to use. If you see, in case of agriculture, so many cases we are actually using to get an exact canopy. So we are actually doing those kind of study. For that you can use the LiDAR data. Biological ecological conservations like biomass calculation, so many people nowadays are going to use this type of LiDAR data sets. Hydrology, it has a very good effect. So hydrology, what kind of effect? Suppose you require a high resolution DEM, okay, or DTM you require. So in that case, LiDAR is you will get the highest accuracy, you can say. That is we are getting from the LiDAR data sets. Okay, so now you can go and use the utility. For utility mapping, you know, the nowadays like electric high tensions lines. Okay, so that kind of mapping, now using the drone, people are actually doing this type of LiDAR mapping to create a map. Okay, so I just, in this picture, I have one example of that picture. So I just show you how it is looking like. So now for transportation purpose and the urban area mapping, so many classes urban area. So nowadays for 3D city modeling, nowadays people are using the LiDAR. Even like, you know, the very famous project I am giving the example, that is Geo. So you know, Geo is actually creating the underlying cables they are actually putting. So for that they are actually did or around the India, wherever there is geo lines, so they did a 3D city mapping using the LiDAR technology. So that is a very good use of the LiDAR data. Okay, so obviously defense it is very much using, okay, and meteorology and geological applications. Okay, so these are the various applications area which LiDAR is actually we are actually using. Okay, so some advantages and disadvantages is also there. So advantages, obviously LiDAR data is giving you a highest accuracy, okay, in term of DTM or DSM, so you will get a highest accuracy. So minimum human dependency. So as I will show you, so dependency is less, means total this former means this collection of the data, everything it will go in automations. Even the processing I will show, that is also, you will see how easily I can process the LiDAR data sets. Okay, then light independency. Okay, so it is not required that any time of daytime only you can do the survey, anytime you can do the survey. Okay, so canopy penetration. So that is the advantage in LiDAR. Okay, so that is the reason for people for the forestry, in some cases of agriculture. So people are actually, to get the canopy structures, to understand the canopy structures, they are using this type of LiDAR technology. Okay, so higher data density. So that is depends more higher density of data. So more good quality of the image you will get in terms of DEM or DTM. Okay, so now disadvantage, what are kind of disadvantage will be there? As I told, that cannot penetrate through the clouds. Okay, if there is cloud, if there is a rain, if there is a haze, LiDAR data will going to affect. So during this type of survey, LiDAR survey, as it is very costly, you see high operating cost. You see, this is the second point, is high. So operating cost is very high. So that's why once you are doing this type of survey, if there is a effect of rain or haze, so your data quality will degrade. Okay, so degraded at the high sun angle, so it is also somehow affecting over the LiDAR data. Okay, so now I think we'll going to go for the next PPT later. This is we're going to start off the microwave. So now we just see the processing of the LiDAR data. Okay, so I just share my screen again, 1 minute. Share camera or share screen. Okay, so how I will going to open a project here? Just see here, you have, see, this Envi Lidar will come with your Envi software only. Okay, like you can say for microwave, which I'm going to show you over the Sarscape. So for that you require a separate license, but for this case you do not require any license here. It is come along with the Envi software only. So you can use this Envi Lidar if you have some simple data. So if you have, suppose here I'm going to create a new project. Okay, so suppose I am going to create a project here. Okay, I create a folder current data demo, suppose. Okay, I save it some. Yes, so once you create your project, it will ask you to select your data. Okay, so this is the thing here. So in this case I have some LiDAR data, so I just show you what kind of LiDAR data I have. So here if you see, is a LiDAR. Okay, so this sample data product is also there in your Envi whenever you are installing. So there only you will get one sample data in your C drive. See there you have some data set. So there you have a C drive. These sample data sets we are giving for some analysis if you want to do. Okay, so once you have this, okay, so are you see what is the extension of your data? Okay, so this is actually your last data product. Okay, so that is LAS. If you see here, data extension is what? Here the data extension is LAS. See, whatever the LiDAR data, if you are founding here, so all this data is actually coming with LAS. Okay, so we call as a last data product. Okay, so now I am just selecting open these data sets. Okay, say this raw material, this file is into the project, so I am not including it, so no, but it is asking you for the projection. So as it is already for the projection data set, so you just click on yes. Okay, see, so this is the raw data of the, you can say this is a LiDAR data sets, how it is looking like. Okay, so these are very high resolution data sets. If you see, this is a point cloud of 32 meters, so he will get so many informations about the data which will mention it here. Okay, so this is almost 32 point clouds is 32. See, it is, if it is means point cloud is like 15, 9 or 13, 30, 32. So this is actually very high resolution of your DEM, LiDAR data products. If your point cloud is like 100, 200 or more than that, so those are actually coarse resolution. Means in case of, in term of LiDAR, you have to understand by the point cloud how dense point cloud it is. So if it is in a 1 point, it is almost 32. So that is very high. Okay, so kind of this type of information you will get from the image like this. Okay, so in this image, first thing is you can able to check different things here, like you have here the color pattern. Okay, so if you want to change this color pattern and you want to check some other informations in other color, so you can load suppose art tone. Okay, so see here it is converting in art tone. Okay, so you can change it in other format also, grayscale, if you want to see lidar data. So this is a grayscale. So if you want to calculate the DSM DAM, so that time also you will found this kind of data quality, but now I am going to convert in rainbow. Okay, so this is the in general how we will actually checking the lidar data. Okay, so if you see here it is concentrated in a one part, so I want to see some other part of this. So this is actually the whole image, so wherever you will just click on here, so you can able to see. Okay, so whatever I will create the box, so according to that it is showing me the data. See what part of the data sets I just able to see. So that is, if you want to make a larger, so you can click on this, so you will get to see this much area, whatever this area is actually showing, so this much area is showing. So as you see here, I'm just creating this box while I'm creating this file, a new project I did. So that time I am doing this project under this, suppose 1 minute. Immediate. Yes, so under this test I just created demo. Okay, so demo, you can see this is a product. So if you see under the product, so nothing is there now, point cloud, nothing will be there. Okay, so what the advantage of the Envi this one is, this lidar is, it can process all the data automatically. So I will go with the processing, how we'll do the processing on this data. So first you have to check the cross profile. If you see, the cross profile is very nice, if you can see in lidar data. So suppose you have this select cross sections. Okay, so if I click on this, see how the cross section is looking like. Okay, so if you more you stretch, see here the down there is one cross section window will open. So it will show you in that particular line how, what are the things will be there. So if there is a building, okay, so there is a building is there, there is a tree will be there. Okay, so that you can control. So wherever you want, you can make a you can make a cross section like this. Okay, and you can able to see your cross sections according to this data. Okay, so this is how we can check and monitor our data sets over there. Okay, so now if you see here, so if you want to process these data sets, okay, so processing is also there, so including the processing techniques that we have this process window. Okay, so good thing is you need not to do any kind of processing by manual things in Envi. Okay, Envi Lidar will do all this processing in a automated way. Automated way, it will going to process all this data. So I just click on this process demo. You can see here. Okay, so it will come to this window first. Okay, so it will come to this window first. So here you can set your product, what is you want from this point cloud. Okay, so only thing is you need to click on the product, like you want to produce orthophoto, you want to produce a DSM, you want to produce a DEM. Okay, digital elevation model. If I want to produce a building, this building shape files if required. Okay, so if you want each and every tree, that also you require as a shape file, so then you can click on that. If you produce the power line, the electric lines which I just talking about, that if you require that, so it will classify automatically, so you need not to do it. So if you want to produce the point cloud, so for the classification it is required, so you can create the point cloud also. Okay, so you can create a dam contour stain, and so many other things also you can able to create. So now I'm not going to create it here. Okay, so I will create up to this point. Okay, so now the area definitions you have to do. So either you can click on this, either you can take this much area. Okay, or if you require the full area, you can take like this. Okay, so as is already selected, your area is already selected. Okay, so now the next things which you have to proceed, that is production parameter. Okay, so this production parameter is actually important. So you require some knowledge over your what kind of the data sets you have. Suppose, as I already know, that you have here like we have here some 50 that's 32 point cloud. Okay, so size point pixels, we have the point cloud. So we can select here 50 centimeter per pixels point cloud we can be able to create over the data sets which we are going to produce. We will going to create on the 50 centimeter per pixels. Okay, for the auto photographs. Same kind of things we can use for the DEM. I can use this 50 centimeter per pixels. Same means whatever these are actually for the products which you are going to create. Okay, so there I am going to select the only the products what kind of products is required. So now the product quality means what kind of products, what is the pixel size should be there in that particular product. Okay, you see 50 centimeters. So now you understand this how much high resolution image which I am going to use it here. As you see, this lidar, if you have going for this type of high resolution, it is cost is very high. So that is true. Okay, so that cost of this kind of imagery will be very high. But anyway, we just see how will the quality of the products will come after the processing. So now go to the 50 centimeter of this. Okay, and you can see the building level. Okay, building level is 10 centimeter if you required. Okay, you can go for the 10. Okay, so here this is a point cloud. Okay, this is a point cloud per meter square. Okay, so this is 50, so you can we have 32, so we can go for the 30 also. Okay, 30, 32 accordingly you can give what is the minimum point density you require for that particular objects which you are going to create. Okay, so here buildings, minimum area, maximum area. So whatever the buildings we are going to create, so it is going to select according to that. Okay, so now I think it is almost done. All the parameters which we are actually required, we are already taken. So only thing you can apply this auto CPU code. Okay, so then your this processing is very fun. As you know that for processing of this type of lidar data also, you require very configuration of your laptop should be very high. Okay, like my system is, it is actually I am using 32 GB RAM. Okay, so just think about you should require this type of high RAM system to process your data sets. Okay, so it is same required for our ArcGIS Pro. Suppose when I am going to show you over the data over the ArcGIS Pro, so that time you will going to see how fast means processing is going to happen. So that is only possible when your means RAM should be very strong. So in that case, we suppose for the Pro we are suggesting 16 GB RAM. So but if you are going to process so many microwave and lidar data, then also you require this type of fast RAM. So now once you will done everything, then you can go for the start processing. So what it will going to start, it will going to start the processing of all the data sets. So if you see here, so this is the box which is actually going to run over with your data. Okay, how so may it will take little bit of time because it's a very large data set which are going to see here. If you see the this purple color, okay, so this is actually going, and this is going to the white. So that means this processing is already done. Okay, so like this way you can understand your processing how it is running or not. So once it all are white, that means your processing will done, and now your point cloud automatically come to your this screen. Okay, so then we can process this data for to see in a 3D, or you can take this data in ArcGIS and you can do so many work on that. Okay, so let's see, we can check on that data. Once these data sets will come, then we are going to process this type of data sets. So here you see total tree, total building, how many things. Okay, so I said okay, I must make preference on that. Okay, see here, so this is the product of your lidar data. Okay, so this is the product of your lidar data. Okay. So this is, now you can see this is, I just open normally. So if you want to open your 3D, so you will get a very nice view of the 3D data. So let's see how we'll convert this data in a 3D. Now I'm converting these data sets in a 3D format. Okay, so this is actually the means that lidar point cloud which we are classified according to the height also. Okay, so that is, this is your classified image. So many information. If you see here now, see now you can able to see, if you go in that particular folder, soil demo. Okay, so now you see the product. So now see all these things are generated. Okay, so that time it was not there. I just showed you, no? Just before the processing, I just showed you. Now you see each and every buildings, DEM, DSM, everything will be there. I will show you to open it in ArcGIS. I will do that. Okay, so now you can see the 3D image of your point cloud. So let's click on this. Yes. So this we call as a LiDAR 3D view of your LiDAR data. So if you take like this, so you will get some information like this. So this will create after the productions. Okay, so not the before it will come. So after you create the point cloud, so you will get some realistic view, something like this. And see, this is the power line. Okay, so whatever the data will be there, you can able to see the power line also. So now you can record it also. So suppose for the view, okay, so if I want to record, okay, so see here you have a navigator here. Okay, so under navigator, if you want to record your data, okay, so you can go to the record route. Okay, so once you, suppose I want to see like this or like this, I can zoom it. I can again go like this. Okay, so once you did all these things, suppose this much you want to record, then you just go navigate and stop recording. Okay, so now if you want to play it, so in navigator you can go and play the route. So see, okay, so now it is automatically doing. Okay, so like this you can see a 360 view. See, this is a huge effect. Now the uses of the LiDAR is so much for basically for the utility mapping project. So company like I can say any electrical company, or you can say gas pipeline companies, so they are actually use this data set tremendously. I will show you. So this is the arc map which I'm just going to use to show you that data product, which is just format means created from the LiDAR. Just a minute. Okay, so I can go to that particular folder. Yeah. So this is the product which is generated. Okay, so you can take the all product if you want. See, building, tree, DEM, DSM, power line, and trees. Okay, I'm opening all the line. So this is for your DTM and DSM. So now we'll check one by one. So see, this is your 3 points, which is created from that automation from the LiDAR. It is automatically created. Okay, so if you want to see the attribute, you can check the attribute also. Height of the tree you can measure. So all these things is based on the height. So you will get not only the tree locations, you can get the height of the tree also. Okay, so these all are generated automatically. So that is the advantage and beauty of the Envi data products. Okay, so if you have the road information, power lines information, so you have very less power lines here, so we'll get that information. So you'll get the building information. Okay, so building height, maximum height. Okay, so all these informations you will get. Okay, so now you can see that is, this is perimeter. So that is a building area perimeter. So that is, so now one more thing is that is DEM. So you will see this is a DEM quality. Okay, so this DEM is very, as you see here it is maybe from 2D you will not able to understand this DEM much. Okay, because that is very less changes. Okay, it's almost a plain area, so it is not getting very still. Now if you want to see the surface changes, then you can go and check this one. So this will give you a better understanding of your data. Okay, so this is give you a better understanding of the DSM and DSM cloud, whatever it is going to create. Okay, so here I am just checking the point clouds will be there or not. Yeah, so this is the Envi classification. Okay, sorry, LiDAR data classification. So this classification is based on your height. Okay, so if you want to classify the LiDAR data, so that is also done automatically when you are actually giving for the processing and creating the point cloud, which I'm going to create. So on the basis of that, it is actually classified your this, and you can take these informations from here also where it is going. Yeah, so this is your the index folder what is actually classified it here. Okay, so the terrain, this is tree, and this is building. So this is also kind of classifications which once you have processed the data, so that time it will get. Okay, so this is the